Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good Tuesday. So it's Ethan, host of your Dirty Balls podcast. And I just wanted to make a video, maybe a quick video, it might be longer than that, we'll see when I get into it, to really thank all of you who have watched or listened for getting us to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And yeah, 100 subscribers might not seem like a lot, but for us, we didn't think we'd get past 5 or 10. So to have 100 is crazy. And you know, the goals just keep going from here: 200, 300, 500, 1,000. Um, and you know, it's crazy to think that my YouTube channel started like a, so long ago and has gone through so many changes and has settled on the Dirty Balls podcast, which we are now about to start season 3 of. And we've got these interviews lined up, and it's great to see where everything's headed. And I'm sure Alan and Jennifer both share these same sentiments that I have. And if they want to make personal videos, I hope they do. Let me have a little backstory here. So, 7, no, even longer than that. I first started my YouTube channel when I was 12 years old. And if you notice, now it's called the Dirty Balls Podcast in the URL, but the URL used to say Roller Coaster Nerd. And that, I'm not really embarrassed about it because I still do love the theme park industry, but that was when I made that when I was 12 years old, and anybody that has a 12-year-old, or anybody that knows any 12-year-olds, or any 12-year-olds watching, can tell you that every 12-year-old has like a random thing that they're obsessed with, you know? Some 12-year-olds watch videos all day long about Legos, or Rubik's Cubes, or dinosaurs, or just whatever random thing. And for me, when I was 12, the thing I was obsessed with and wanted to know everything about was roller coasters and the amusement park industry. So that's why I made the channel. That's why it was called Roller Coaster Nerd. Originally, I was making Roller Coaster Tycoon gameplay videos, and boy, those were cringy and bad, and I'm glad that all those are erased from the YouTube world, and glad that nobody can see those anymore. And so that's the explanation behind the name change if you're relatively new out here. So, yeah, 12-year-olds, they get obsessed with things and they make YouTube channels with cringy names. Also, I spelled it wrong. It was TS instead of ST. And I couldn't figure out how to change it. So I was like, you know what? We'll just let that stay for 9 years. So fast forward 7 years past that, and I have the channel, and every now and then I'm reacting to NASCAR races, or I'm filming something at a game, or I'm going to Carowinds or Dollywood and, you know, living up to that original channel name and counting my credits and like, oh, this is an RMC and that's a B&M and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to do something more. And just one day, I just threw it out there on Facebook that I wanted to host a podcast. Originally, I wanted to host a podcast about racing, and I talked to my friend Braxton about it, but I was about to go to LR, sorry, just making sure my camera was right, which is where I'm in the parking lot of right now, and he was going to UNC Chapel Hill, so we'd have to do like a Skype kind of thing, or like get microphones in separate cities, and we just couldn't figure out the technology for that, so racing was out. But I still wanted to host a podcast, so I throw it out there on Facebook, and I remember it like it was yesterday, because several days later I was sitting in a dentist chair getting ready for a root canal, nervous as hell because I'd never gotten a root canal before and I didn't like getting stuck with big needles, and I get a text from Alan, and he's like, yeah man, heard you wanted to do this podcast, how about we do something about the crawdads, hashtag MSH, or something like that, you know how he talks. And I was like, huh, yeah, I never thought about doing a baseball podcast. I mean, I go to most games, not all games. They go to all games. I go to most games. They're super connected with the Crawdads Connection and with 108 and 115, and they know everybody. And at that time, I wasn't super into all that yet, but I was getting into it. I was starting to get with the chants and with 108 and 115, cowbells and all that. That was when I was starting to get to know everybody. So I'm like, okay, this will be cool. Let's try a podcast. And the first couple podcasts were shite. Oh my god, they were bad. We were awkward, we were quiet, we didn't know what to say, camera was positioned weirdly, they were like there's a lot of filler, like we just sit there and have like 30 seconds of dead air before we came up with the next thing to talk about. First couple of podcasts were just absolute piss poor. But then we got into the swing of it. We got a little bit better. We finally started to get a guest or two on there, and we really started coming into our own. We found our niche. We found stuff like the 1-star review game and stuff like that, and Jennifer Day Take It Away, and stuff that was ours, so we weren't just up there talking bollocks about whatever game just happened last week. And, we started doing more research and started writing more stuff down, and then we got the studio, and now we're on season 3. Now we're doing interviews with Sam freaking Huff and Josh Advocate, and I don't want to give away the next one, but we got another one coming, and we might have even more of them coming, and that's great. And then Jeremy started his channel, and now he's in on it. If you would have told 12-year-old me that the Roller Coaster Nerd channel would eventually become a channel about reacting to NASCAR races, and then eventually making vlogs, and then eventually getting rid of all that, starting a separate personal channel, and then doing a podcast. First of all, when I was 12, podcasts didn't exist yet, so I was right on the edge, right on the cusp. I think the next year or two, is when they really started becoming a thing. So it's wild that we made it to 100 subscribers with our little rinky-dink podcast out here in little rinky-dink Hickory, North Carolina, where there's, nothing to do here. So just really, when I think about it, it's just, I'm at a bit of a loss for words, because the journey from what my channel was to then what it was again, and then to what it is now, and the friendships that I've made in 108 and 115, the friendships that I've made with players. I mean, if you would have told me that I would be, texting back and forth with a top prospect probably about to be in Major League Baseball in the next year or two, I would have said, you're crazy. I'm not an insider. I don't know these people. But here we are, and I'm doing it. And it's just amazing, and I love it so much. And I love everybody in 108 and 115 like they're my family. And I hope Jennifer and Alan both feel the same way. And, we've been through some rough times, but we've been through some good times too. And I just hope there's more good times to come, and I hope that you guys are there to watch them unfold with us, because we're going to have a good time, and I hope you're there. So, thanks for watching. Wear red on Fridays. Support the podcast. Support Red. And, yeah, thanks.